It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Niners and the Bengals. All that and more. Coming up next.
It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
They were Super Bowl opponents twice in the 80s, and they're back at it here. The Bengals and Niners are underway. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Purdy going to the air right away. And that's going to be incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Second and 10. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, here's the Australian native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. And taken right on the 30. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Moss. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Burrow will throw. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. From midfield now, Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Play action. It's Burrow. That is caught. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
In motion right is Jones. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here to the 27-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Got him in. It's Brown. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. This one is incomplete.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Showing off the quick feet that time and getting forward for a pickup of 3 yards.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A first carry for Elijah Mitchell. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now a 2nd and 10. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you off sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Purdy. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 7. Here's Purdy. And this all incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Purdy. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver's taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. First down. Here's Burrow. Man open. That's Jamar Chase complete. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a second down and 4. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Now Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now Burrow on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. Checks that one down, complete to Moss. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Here's 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Let's do this, man. What's the deal, y'all? Let's go. Let's go right here. Let's go do this. Stay loose. Stay loose. All right, guys. All right. Let's play. Let's play. I got you, baby.
2nd and 5. Here's Burrow. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Brown diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first round up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. On first down, it's Purdy. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Purdy now to throw. He's got Ayuk once again. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing here, Purdy. Got a man, that's Ayuk. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. And this is caught, Jennings. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down, San Francisco.
So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And able to get this out to the 25. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Quick slant caught by Chase. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Again, it's Burrow. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Chase Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the 2nd time in the ball game.
And Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. after the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire fourth remaining, so stranger things have happened.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get two more stops, and escape this drive.
Purdy bootlegging it. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Cincinnati set to take over once again. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From the 20, here's second down at 5. Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So nothing doing there, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. Burrow will throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
To the air again, Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. Now Burrow loses the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the fourth and final quarter. Following the fumble recovery, Purdy. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he'll get this down to the 30-yard line.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards, we're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Purdy to throw it on first down. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Purdy. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a because all they've done is throw the football? If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Niners on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Niners are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Purdy will look to throw again here. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Bengals offense returns to the field. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. Out to the left, he's got Sample there.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
11 MT.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset.
Here's 1st and 10.
They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
To throw is Purdy. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. Purdy to throw.
Flushed out right.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this defense has been physical all game long, and it certainly looks like they're not going to back off and make things any easier. They want to keep making life miserable for the receivers all the way to the end.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Oh, twisting away. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Out of the gun, it's going to be Samuel with a run.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Here's Purdy to throw.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Here now, 2nd and goal. Throwing, Purdy.
This is caught. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
Well, CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Now Burrow, and that's complete to Brown.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely. No matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
They'll come up now. This is second and long. Right back to Moss.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's third down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the complete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
A 56-yard attempt.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and that changes everything here in OT. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide.
Conditions only going to get worse as we get back to football here to start this overtime. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
7 yards there and a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 5.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45-yard line. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Throwing here, Purdy. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, 49ers.
They'll give it to Samuel. And he'll work down inside the 45.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Purdy now to throw off the play action.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
That's Samuel, caught left side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive.
Here's Purdy.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete.
And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here we go with McCaffrey. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Purdy to throw.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? Anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
1 overtime, how about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Purdy looking to throw. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers.
Touchdown, San Francisco.
And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him, because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Moody good with the extra point.
And they will take a 7-point lead.
24, Bengals 17.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
Out of the gun, he'll throw.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
11 MP, take. 11.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Buying time to his left. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
That's good for a Cincinnati.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Burrow got a man. It's Brown. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. This now a 3rd and 4. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Now it's Burrow. And it's caught. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Ready? 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Moss is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere seeing that play. Focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
So a very interesting final chapter to this proverbial book here in this one, because they were in field goal range, could have won it with a field goal, elect to go for the touchdown. I still don't know what they were doing.
As great as this game was and as dramatic an ending as we had, the post-game press conference is going to be key, because they're going to be asking Coach, why not a field goal attempt there? You got an opportunity to win it right there with your guy, and instead you run another play.
Yeah, we might need to stop by that press conference on our way out the back door here.
Yeah, just slow down the plane for us, all right? We got to get an answer before we go.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.